Yeah, City. We have guests in studio.
We do.
Yes. We want to talk about matters to do with improving the situations in the slum areas, just making them have a decent living. In studio with us, we have Eric Ambuche, who is a founder Slums Outreach Program. Good morning.
Good morning.
Uko salama? Happy holidays. Uko salama? Kila kitu iko sawa? Habari ya Slum Outreach?
Slums Outreach iko sawa. Tunangangana kule Mukuru kwa Njenga. Now, as you know, the challenges that go with the slum setting is not that easy. It's not that easy. Most of the planning is in a mess.
Yeah. Tutafika huko baadaye. But we also have a very beautiful young lady, Jennifer Kathuli. How are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How is everything? I like your pink jacket.
Thank you.
Looks really, really nice. Welcome to the Situation Room. But let us welcome you guys officially the way we do it on this show. City.
Yes.
Let's give them that proverb of the week, yeah?
Yes, we will. Our proverbs for this week, well, the week ends today, because tomorrow we will not be here, come from the state of Eritrea. Okay? Eritrea is in the Horn of Africa. Let me ask the question. Would you know the capital of Eritrea?
Eritrea.
Yes.
Eritrea.
Eritrea, a small country but tricky. Can't remember the capital city.
Do not worry. Most people have no idea. And it's just as well that you have to tell is it Ethiopia? You know, that's a country.
That's a country, yeah.
It's called Asmara.
Asmara.
Yes, Asmara is the largest city and is also the capital.
Flight to Asmara.
Bas. See, you did know. You did know. If you hear a madman talking, wait a minute, and you will soon hear what makes people think he is mad.
What do you make of it?
Usikia mwendawazimu akiongea, subiri kidogo tu. Wacha endelee kuongea. Utaelewa kisababu ambacho inafanya watu wafikiria kwamba yeye ni mwendawazimu.
It is believed that what you hear from such people, there's a lot of truth in it. And you see dharau, even if a kid speaks, you have to listen. You catch some point and meaning.
You put it very well.
Very well, yeah.
When people say someone is mad, usually they are uninhibited.
Yes.
Zile breaks za kawaida hawana. Things which they should not say, they will say. Things they should not do, they will do. Sasa unaona huyu jamaa ako manoki kidogo. Yes.
Jennifer, wanna try go through that?
Pardon?
Try and tell us what you think the proverb means to you.
The problem.
Proverb.
Yes.
Your problem utakujia baadaye. What's the proverb? Let me repeat it.
Yes.
If you hear a madman talking, wait for a minute, and you will soon hear what makes people think he is mad.
A proverb that can phrase those words.
Tell us what you think the proverb means.
What do you think it means?
There's no right answer, by the way. Whatever you say is how you think and feel.
Yes.
Wewe ukisikia mwendawazimu akiongea, methali ni hiyo. Subiri kidogo, utaelewa kwa nini watu wanafikiria yeye ni mwendawazimu.
Maybe kwa sababu vile anaongea bila kuweka mapumziko yale yenye mtu mwenye ako na akili sawa anaweka.
Si kwambia umeelewa. Shika.
Mr. Eric,
yes.
Now when we talk about Founder Slums Outreach Program, you being the founder of these CBO based in Mukuru, Kwanjenga,
yes.
What exactly does Slum Outreach Program do?
Our organization is a CBO. CBO is a community-based organization, and we bank on 3 pillars. The first one being education. The second one is about climate action. without expounding. The third one is about fight against alcohol and drug abuse. So on education, these are we have an initiative called Oasis of Hope, which was founded in 2020 when we had the corona pandemic, and it was dubbed "Keep Mukuru Bright Students in Secondary School." Because when such a pandemic hits, it's most of the girls that bear most brunt, especially in that slum setting. So we were trying to see that how do we get these clever children from Mukuru to secondary schools. Then that's how we started that initiative. We got those who had performed very well, and we liaised with several corporates and even individuals to make sure they pick those kids to secondary school. And so as we sit here, we have almost 100 children from Mukuru, mostly girls. A quarter is boys, but mostly girls are currently in secondary schools, mostly national schools, being paid for by well-wishers and some corporates, which I'll not maybe name here. Then the second one is about the climate change.
Let's talk about education, yeah? When you talk about education in Mukuru slums and making sure that the bright students remain in class, or just making sure that all the children get to access education. If you have the stats, or if you could just paint the picture on those who don't continue with education due to various factors, say school fees, how dire is the situation?
The situation is dire, bearing in mind the number of schools. With that almost 300 population in that Embakasi South. Embakasi South has 5 wards, from Kwaruben to Pipeline. Those are 5 wards. The situation is dire, that these are children of people who cannot make 3 meals in a day. And it's a life of hand to mouth. And here is a child who has scored something like 410 marks. Na hana mbele na nyuma. So these are the situation that we highlight. I'm good at article writing, and so I'm a friend to most journalists. So I share it. Then the people come in and help them to join those schools. Because the bursary per se does not work. And here is a child who has been called to join national school, whereby you need to have like a fee of 52,000. There's you have not added uniform, there's no shopping, there's no transport.
Let's just say more than 52,000.
Yeah. So here is most of them you'll find they are children of single mothers who are just mamafua, or just peddle or hawkers, or they cut skuma. So you see, they cannot make it. So most of we get good well-wishers. They pay for the 4 years. Others pay termly, others pay yearly. Others drop along the way. He pays for 1 year, then he drops along the way. Mtoto anatolewa Makueni Boys, anarudishwa Kware Secondary, you can imagine. And remember, in Embakasi South constituency, we only have one public school, which is called Embakasi Girls. One. In that population of those children, you can imagine.
What's the population of Embakasi? Which of Embakasi is this?
Embakasi
South. Do you know the population of Embakasi?
It's roughly 300,000 people with the registered voters of 160.
Right. And what about the population of school-going children?
School children in secondary, mostly I concentrate with the secondary school.
Okay, secondary school.
It was around 55,000.
55,000.
Yeah.
And of these numbers, how many of them are actually in school?
Not all of them.
Do you know the number who could have been in school and who are not in school?
Maybe in percentage I can say 10 are not in school. 10% of them
10% are not in school.
Are not in school.
And what is the reason why they're not in school?
The first reason being poverty. That's the first reason they can't make it. You have heard me tell you there's another boy, there's those who had joined in Makueni boys, but the sponsor paid for 1 year, so the boys studied for only 1 year.
But as we speak, they were admitted to earlier.
So the father, because having another, the father also had a girl, which I'll not mention her name here. She's in a girls' secondary school in Nairobi. She's still the sponsor for that girl is still
ongoing.
It's still ongoing. She's joining next year Form 3, but the boy had to join Kware Secondary, and that's a day school. So from Makueni boarding, now you are in Kware. You can imagine. And as I said earlier, there's a problem here that out of the whole constituency, we are having one public secondary school. The rest are...
Is it a mixed secondary school?
Girls. Embakasi girls.
And boys?
We don't have any boys, any.
Who is the MP for Embakasi South?
Embakasi South, the MP is Honorable Mheshimiwa Julius Mawade. Julius Mawade is the Member of Parliament there.
How many private schools are there in Embakasi South?
I'm not sure, but there are many. I tried quite a number. The specifications, the credibility is never to standard. And in fact, if you have been looking at my articles, I usually say that I even wrote to Usawa, the Usawa agenda, telling them that here education is being compromised. Because we are having schools there where mahali ya kuweka mti wa bendera ni shida. But we are having a school there in Embakasi South where kuweka mti wa bendera, the gold flag post. Kuna. Hata ndoo ya kupanda maua. Now, the land that was meant for these schools, not that it's not there. The land is there, but it's in private lands, in the hands.
Grabbed.
Has been grabbed. And you remember the late Magoha, rest in peace, alikuja kwa Njenga Primary as a Minister of Education at that time. And he did talk to those stakeholders who are there, especially the Ngao, the administration, that they identify those lands that have been taken so that they establish schools. But you see, that thing is moving at a very low pace. Because land is there, but it's in private hand. Even I want to use this opportunity to thank the new DCC in Embakasi. If I can name his name,
yes, go ahead.
Is it okay?
Yes, it is fine. You can name him.
The guy is called Eric Wamulevu. He's the current DCC Embakasi. And he has started on a very nice note. But he has promised all the elders, all the people of Embakasi South, that will recover the entire land that is in private hands. And he has shown the goodwill that he will ensure that children of Embakasi access the government capitation, because our children, they are not getting capitation. The 22,400 for secondary school.
Sorry?
Our children from Mukuru, we need to access the government.
They are not getting capitation.
Because they are in private schools, and the government does not provide the capitation to private schools. And hizo ndio zimejaa. Hizo unaona room moja mbili ndio za mabati.
So what I'm hearing you say is the students in Mukuru do not get the capitation because they are in private schools, and that is because there are no public schools in Mukuru.
Yes.
Which goes to say that the children of Mukuru are being denied their right to education.
You can imagine.
Because the government has not invested in schools in Mukuru. So as we speak right now, through your initiative, conversations you've had with your area member of parliament, MCAs, even with the county, the national government, in setting up schools, recovering all this land that has been grabbed, where have you guys gotten to with regard to making sure that, first of all, land is reclaimed and schools are set up?
I know you as broadcasters, and I've been following this guy, Muga, so much. That's why I'm here. This is the leading station as far as substantive or mature discussion is concerned. Am I being biased in any way?
You're allowed to be biased.
So, and I know you understand that old habits die hard.
Which is this old habit in Mukuru.
That when we are trying to recover these parcels, the biggest impediment are those offices that are supposed to help us recover. You get?
Because they get compromised.
So these guys, before grabbing those places, there are people they pocket, starting with the lands officials. The judiciary is also involved. The security, the administration, the local administration. Are you getting? So to recover them, I'll give you a good example. We have raised those areas that were grabbed in Embakasi South. Land meant for children playground, land meant for school, land meant for hospital, one meant for market, public market. And I usually there was a time even I raised it in the paper. We went even to a full hearing under Professor Swazuri, NLC, National Land Commission.
That's quite a while back.
We went a full hearing and we won. We were given what we call letter of determination, saying that 1 hectare, which is situated near Dakau, there's a place called Dakau in Imara Daima, should be reverted back to its original use, which should be a market and a parking, open air market. But as we speak right now, what happened when we got that letter of determination? We went back to NLC to check. It's supposed to be gazetted by government printer.
Was it gazetted?
It was not gazetted. The reason they gave us was that they lacked money to take to government printer.
Oh.
And you know how much is it? It's less than 6,000 shillings to be for such a thing to be gazetted. So are you seeing where I started with the word?
There's something you mentioned that I find particularly concerning. What you call private schooling in Mukuru kwa Njenga, you said they are corrugated iron sheets.
Yes.
Simple rooms.
Yes.
When the late Professor Magoha visited the area, did he see these classrooms?
He went to Kwanjenga Primary, which is the largest primary school in Mukuru.
It's a government primary school.
It is a government primary. It started as a community school initially.
But it's a government.
It is current as we speak. It's a government school. That's one of the leading schools in as far as population is concerned.
So what you're actually saying, would you say that the majority of children who are in the area you work in, are they in government schools or are they in private schools?
They are in private schools. And in Kuchekeshe, there's this school, I know you sent your crew guys in during Teresita 2020, January. There's a school that somebody had grabbed and named it Goodrich Group of Schools in those side of Mukuru kwa Njenga. He had grabbed that school and converted it to private. Na akaanza kulipisha per term, the parents were paying 30,000. So we struggled through my other I have other 5 guys where we teamed up and said no, this can't continue this way. We fought through documentation and other social media fight.
Was it reverted?
It was reverted, and we were given that school through the former CS, Mr. Matiang'i, because I sent a message to him and told him even with a clip, 1 minute clip, told him this school is ours and we need it. So aka-initiate process ya kurudishiwa hiyo shule. Kweli tarehe 4 January hiyo 2020 mpangilio ikafanywa DCC. By then the DCC akaambiwa make sure shule imerudi. Kweli the whole process was done. Tarehe 6 the same January the school was handed back to us.
What's the name of the school?
Right now inaitwa MCC Primary School.
MCC Primary
School. And on that single day 3,000 parents came and registered their kids.
How many students are there in that school?
Currently we have almost 4,000.
4,000.
Yes.
How big is the school? How big is the school compound?
The school is the whole area is supposed to be 1.65 hectares.
1 hectare is what, 3?
Is that around 3? Around 4
around
acres.
4 acres.
Yes.
4,000.
So it's having one, and you have a ECD center. It's there, the lower, the JSS. And in fact, right now as we speak, they are just doing completion of the grade 9, 6, 8.
Is there a playground?
There's a playground. And as we sit here, they are already completing the 8 grade 9
now
classes.
Tell me, how many stories are the classrooms?
They are just first floor only.
Just It's just 2 stories.
Let's say 3.
Okay.
1, 2,
1, 2, and 3.
3.
There is one side that has 3. There's another side that has 2 stories.
All right. City.
In fact, it's Kenya Airways that had constructed it. If they can take that credit.
Let us take a break.
Let's take a break. When we come back, let's listen to Jennifer. Because when you talk about schools, it is about students going to these schools.
Yes.
And availability of education, it is them who get affected directly. So we'll just listen to her story, her experience, and then we will get back to now looking at solutions moving forward. But as now, let's take a short commercial break. We will be back in a few. City. Now, we've been having a discussion this morning on matters to do with pretty much just education and the situation in Mukuru kwa Njenga. And in studio with us, we have Eric Ambuche, the founder Slums Outreach Program, together with Jennifer Kathule. Now, Jennifer,
Yes.
when you talk about matters to do with education, you are a student,
Yes.
and an availability of schools or ease of you going to school is a problem. What is your story?
As I've said, my name is Jennifer Kathule. I'm a daughter of a single parent. I did my KCPE in MCC, the Mukuru Primary
Yes,
School.
the one that was recovered.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I got 380 marks. So there was a challenge for me going to high school. The students were joining on 6th of February, 2022. And my parent, because is a mama fua, unaona, so angeweza kunipeleka high school. And then nikajuana na Mr. Eric akanisaidia.
Your command of the English language is very good. I want
Very
you to
good.
speak in English. It's not that I don't like our national language. I've heard you speak and you speak well, so explain yourself in English.
Sure. So I met Mr. Eric.
Yes.
I told him my story.
Yes.
And then he promised me that I will go to high school. I was very stressed, you see.
Yes.
So he founded me a sponsor, that is Mr. Governor Honorable Sakaja. Now I'm in Chania Girls High School in Kiambu, and I'm being sponsored by the governor.
Oh, very good. Which class are you in now?
I'm going to Form 3.
Oh, goodness gracious. That's a wonderful thing. Governor Sakaja, kudos to you.
Yeah.
Kudos to you. If I've said anything negative about you today, I take them back.
But it's a good thing, City,
Yes.
coming to think of it. Because, you see, even when we talk about matters to do with just education that the county is doing, Dishina County, and what that has done just to increase the enrollment numbers and students being in school, I mean, it's a good thing. We give credit where it's due.
Yes.
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 And still, Jennifer, now, Governor Sakaja came on board. Mr. Eric came through just so you can go to school. But for some of your former classmates, some didn't get the opportunity. I want you to today just speak to the power that be. Talk to the president. Najua atakusikia.
Thank you.
Ama wa Kenya, waambie shida yenye iko Mukuru.
Yeah, there is a lot of problem in Mukuru, especially kwa Njenga. Most of the students have dropped. Most of them didn't go to school. I have some of my friends. They are not capable of going to school. They come, let's say, the first term, the others, they don't. So I was requesting Mr. President if you could give your hand here in Mukuru to enable those bright students that are here in Mukuru to go in secondary school. Thank you so much.
What exactly do you want the president to do? We know we don't have schools in Mukuru. That is one problem. School land have been grabbed. Aside from helping students go to school, how about schools in Mukuru?
Yeah, I was requesting maybe if he could build some of the schools that the parents can afford, so that those bright students can be able to get education. Yeah.
Eric.
Yes, sir.
Now, this is the plight of the parents and the community in Mukuru. Personally, City, I used to live in Imara. And the very first mattress I ever bought in my life I bought it in Mukuru.
You now have to ask this question.
Yes.
Where exactly is Mukuru kwa Njenga?
It's just, you see, Imara Daima.
I know where Imara Daima is. Yes.
Yeah. So if you go towards Maziwa there's a junction.
I have absolutely no idea I know where Imara is.
It's close to Imara. Let me just put it that
fine.
way. Yes.
It's just behind here.
Behind here, yeah. It's just here.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's in Embakasi South.
Embakasi South.
I think we're also in Embakasi South.
We are also in Embakasi South.
It is a constituency.
This is a Ruben ward.
Yeah.
This is
for Ruben.
Mukuru kwa Ruben. And you people are kwa Njenga.
Kwa Njenga.
How many Mukurus are there?
We are in the middle, huh?
How many Mukurus are there?
We have several Mukurus. We have Mukuru Kayaba. We have Mukuru kwa Ruben. We have Mukuru kwa Njenga.
Yeah.
Mukuru Kayaba is
in South B.
In South B along Enterprise Road.
Yeah.
Then kwa Ruben is where now we are, but the slum itself is also next to off Enterprise Road.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
I have now seen the picture in my head.
So when we talk about what it is they're talking about, it is something that I'm conversant with. The population is high, poverty levels are high, no schools, and when we talk about even the corrugated structures that we have that is providing for education there, is not safe, because as we speak today, you remember the government of Kenya has actually closed some schools, boardings, because they do not meet the threshold and standards of schools. But that is the day-to-day situation in Mukuru.
Yes.
As we talk about the dire situation in matters of education in Mukuru, moving into 2025, the powers that be, there's a lot that needs to be done.
Yes.
What kind of assistance would you want to see from the Ministry of Education? Because let's take this where to the doors that it belongs.
Ministry of Education, I can say that currently it is a CSO Gamba, Mheshimiwa Gamba. He should act hands-on as far as meeting the standards of education in Mukuru kwa Njenga. Things are in the dilapidated state. Recently, I realized that there was a class which has 2 streams. Can you imagine? And it's happening there. That this is a class, but this class has 2 streams.
Or it is the same room.
So you find grade 1, grade 2, grade 3 that's in one stream, in one room. So unasikia now the teacher for grade 3 comes in, it's English, anasema wale wakuje mbele, warudi nyuma. And that's the situation there. So unaona it ina compromise the standard of education. Now we have land there, I know. So the planning department has messed up a lot. These things are happening because nobody is following them up. So we are calling upon the planning department and the relevant ministry that there's land for these schools. There's no way we can be having one public school, which is Embakasi Girls, serving all this population. It's impossible. Till when we had
Embakasi Girls, the primary school,
secondary school,
high school.
secondary school.
Yes.
Which means that one belongs to Serikaliku.
To Serikaliku. And it was not easy for it to be that public. It was not easy. It's a long story. Yeah.
You know, the person who's involved, who's in charge of planning, is called Mr.
Analo.
Yes.
Analo.
And Analo has inherited a very difficult docket. Difficult in the sense that he comes at a time when everything that was done wrong before him is now coming to a head. And we will point fingers at him because he's trained as a planner. Planners actually do their work, just so that you know. Somewhere along the line, some people get compromised and what was planned for. Because an area such as the one that you say, when you hear land has been grabbed, it means that land was allocated. It was understood. Yes. We will need this. Not only a school, a hospital, a primary school, secondary school, all these things are planned for. Because if you talk to planners, Mr. Nala was in the studio a while back, and they tell you, we look at the population and the growth, and we determine, among the many things they do, we determine what will these people need, not today, tomorrow, 10 years, and so forth. And they plan. And land is allocated for it. You will find that a lot more land than perhaps you know was actually grabbed. Land that was actually meant to help facilitate this growth. Because one can actually see how the town keeps growing.
Yeah.
Yes. Towns tend to grow outward. Yes.
Buana City, can you see that? Give a good example of. Let me just go out a bit, like a Central Police Station.
Yes.
Which was designed when we had a population in Nairobi of 50,000 Nairobians at that time. There's no. Have we had any expansion there? City police station.
Yeah, there was an expansion. You know those Mabati houses that look like huts that they let policemen live in, and some of them are offices. No, but the point is, no, we have not.
Yeah.
So recently, I even wrote to the CJ telling her how do we decongest our prison, our cells, our remand homes, and our jail cells. How do we decongest them? By at least this is what we call the petty offenders wakae watumike nyumbani. Now, if you ask any Kenyan why do they bribe the police, they'll tell you staki kwenda kwa cell because of.
Essentially, what you're being offered is inconvenience, and you pay so that you are not inconvenienced. Yes, yes, that is the response. If you're arrested, you will be thoroughly inconvenienced. That whole process will inconvenience you. So people prefer to pay so that they're not inconvenienced.
Yes.
So I'll tell you, Bwana Muga. Do you know there's an area in Mukuru kwa Njenga called Gorofani. We have gorofas. We have story buildings there, skyscrapers there. They're going up to 12th floor and they have no lift. And people are living there like goats. And you can see I tried to note what is lacking as far as building code is concerned, and I marked 20 areas. 20. I have them. I'll share with you those things that are missing. Parking, no hospital, no hall, no social, nothing. 20 of them. I have already compiled. I'll be sharing with you.
You know what you raise. And when we look at everything that has gone wrong in the area that you live in or you come from, people never actually realize the effects of corruption and what happens when it gets down into the souls of the people so that it becomes normal. Everything you're discussing here, that's what happens. The welfare of the citizenry out of the window.
Kabisa.
The benefits that are due to the citizenry by virtue of the constitution out of the window.
Yes.
Personal interests now take center stage. And the Mwananchi is disregarded completely.
At all.
Now, that's what happens. So, we've talked about school. How many health centers do you have?
It's only like 2.
2.
And there's one that was constructed by NMS in 2022.
Yes.
The one called level 4. Mukuru kwa Njenga level 4.
Yes.
And do you know even the road to go, you can't reach there using a road.
Yeah, I think we did a story.
That hospital, you can't access. You did that story. I'm the one who made them do that story. We had gone there for a certain presser.
So
but our was standard wakasema, okay, Tino wakasema, Eric, we have to come back tomorrow for Barabara. It was a chaotic.
Let me ask. So how, okay, there's a hospital.
Yes.
Does it have personnel?
It has personnel.
Does it have equipment?
Very few.
If you get there, can you get treated?
There are challenges as far as treatment is concerned.
Which tells me that
Dawa
you
kuna.
can't get treated.
Dawa
Okay.
kuna.
So how do you get there exactly?
Getting there is a problem. Getting that. Do you know? Recently, I was there and there was no key to the loose. There was no key. Almost 2 weeks ago, I was with a friend.
At least, let me be a Kenyan and say, at least there's a loo.
There's a loo.
Yes, there are places where there are no loos. So how does one get? There's no road that can.
The road to that place is. There's no road.
It exists, but it's in a
I was there,
state.
in fact, 2 days ago with you.
Yeah.
You saw what happened. Then the guy had to leave us more than 100 meters away. There's no road to that place.
Is that bad?
So bad. That's why your guys, when they came there during that presser, it was on a Friday, they came back on Saturday to do purposely for that road and the mess that was at the hospital. The gate, I don't know what a gate kama inatumika ama namna gani. You can imagine. That's a level 4, but we told them, did they write that level 4 erroneously, that they were to write a clinic or what? Because most patients are referred to Mukuru nursing, which is a dispensary.
Is it Mukuru nursing? Is it private?
It's a
government county clinic.
County clinic. Is that dispensary? So most of those at level 4 are being referred to that
As opposed to the other way around.
Yeah, as opposed. So that's why I'm saying, did they write that level 4 erroneously? You get the situation.
It looks like when we're talking about Mukuru Kwanjenga, anything that could possibly go wrong has gone wrong.
Has gone wrong.
And you have an MCA, don't you?
We have MCAs there, but you see, most of them will tell you if we found this problem and there's nothing much you can do about it.
Okay, now that brings us here to a different subject. The subject of who we vote for.
Who we vote for.
Yes, that's one. Two, how do we hold them accountable?
And what is our responsibility as citizens in making sure that those that we vote for actually get to work for us?
You are asking very nice questions, and these are the things that can make them accountable. I'm on record as the mastermind of what we call the manifesto of its kind towards the general election 2022. I prepared something that we called a manifesto. We came up with a few like-minded individuals at Tupiti Watano, and we came up. Now that I have expertise as far as the electoral process in Kenya is concerned. I'm an expertise because of the duration I've been in. Nimekuwa agent, observer, monitor, returning officer, presiding officer. I've been in all those nafasi. I understand. So I know I have the mind. I have the mind of a voter in my hand and the politician. I know what the politician should tell the people. I know what the voter want to hear. So I prepared that manifesto with other like-minded guys. So because we knew what politicians tell the electorate. Tutaweka mfreji ya maziwa. We never wanted that. We prepared. We know that our problems in Mukuru. We know our problems. So we raised them. Kasema shida zetu ni stima, maji, mitaro, hivi.
Okay. Let's take this discussion a step further. Every time you have an election and you know what you want, have you ever held a forum where those who want to vie are told, come and meet us here?
That's how we had what we call candidates debate. Iliza candidates debate where we met the current senator, we met the current governor. In fact, we are planning to go and meet the governor to tell him this has worked, this has not worked. This at least what we mentioned.
So they told you what they will do?
No, we told them what they should do, not them telling us what to do, because we know our problems.
So essentially you told them these are our problems we want to do.
Yes.
Did they talk about how they are going to address these problems?
We told them, it is us who told them that for you to have more schools in Embakasi South, this is what you should do. Repossess this land.
That's what we call a social contract. Okay? Once you tell somebody, these are my problems, and they want to solve them, come and tell us how you are going to solve them, so that you hold them account to what they said, not what you said. This is our problem. These are our problems. You said this is what you would do. Now, scorecard. After 1 year, this is where we are. After yes, because if they do not say what they're going to do, because since you've told them the problems, it becomes difficult to hold them to account.
You are right. You are right. After we had a questionnaire for MCA, for senator, for those MPs. We had a questionnaire that tell us, like, now you are an MCA. As far as this youth unemployment, what are you going to do to address it? And they told us how they. So, to gauge, in near future we'll be visiting some of them.
Actually, you have to structure it.
Yes.
And you have to tell them, after this length of time, we will come to you to tell you to come and address the public and tell them, umefika wapi na hii. Umefika wapi na hii. That's holding into account. When someone knows, you'll go back and say, you agreed to do this. Now come and tell us what you've done. Don't tell me as an individual. The same way you came to ask, come back and tell us what you have done. They may not want to come, but if somebody knows that they're going to be held to account, they are likely to behave differently. Because once you elect them, and there's no contract that they signed and said this was... See, one of the things that is bedeviling President Ruto, he signed certain charters.
Yes.
And in signing them, he said this is what he's going to do. That's what is being held to account.
Yeah. And
you said...
These MCAs of ours signed. Even the senator, the governor signed.
Then hold them to account.
That's why we are planning to go and visit the governor and tell him, this is the scorecard. This is the scorecard. Now, these are the remaining areas. Kindly do it before your time is over. Then
Eric, unfortunately, time is not on our side. We have a lot more to discuss on this matter. We shall have this discussion continue, but it is a conversation of us making sure that we fight for that which is rightfully ours. It is a matter of how do we vote? How do we make sure that the promises that were made to us are actually implemented? And let's even go further and hold to account those that we put to office, because when we talk about matters to do with the education, Jennifer Kathule here is a living testimony of how education is helping her. But look at how it went about. It was through intervention. How about it is a clear process that is being followed because resources have been put in place by the government, by the county, and all the stakeholders. Eric Ambuche is founder, Slums Outreach Program, and Jennifer Kathule, our guest this morning, is a beneficiary of the project. It is 7 a.m., 8 a.m.